Many people ask me if the final chapter on the Mothman has been written. My answer is a resounding no. The interviews and information that I have brought before you in this book and the previous one only begin to scratch the surface of this incredible phenomenon of the Mothman. I still revert back to my iceberg theory that suggests that only a small portion of this story has been told and that more key eyewitness accounts will hopefully see the light of day. That's from the epilogue of Jeff Walmsley's book, Mothman Behind the Red Eyes, the Complete Investigative Library, which is an excellent resource on investigating the Mothman phenomenon. And I'll remind you again that Jeff Walmsley will be my guest this Friday, April 1st, on my Blog Talk radio show, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, April 1st, Jeff Walmsley, to talk about the Mothman and the recent documentary that he was in, The Eyes of the Mothman. So join me for some interesting discussion on the paranormal. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth. You know, there's just so many things to talk about. I wanted to hit on a few that should be of interest to many people. First of all, let's look at the different budgets that are being proposed in states around the country and in the United States. And look at the fact that the mentality of the people who are proposing draconian cuts to various budgets to fill deficit gaps refuse to accept the idea that when it comes to so-called giving back and the willingness to give up certain economic benefits that one has, and this is clearly directed towards unions and working class people in this country, and regular everyday people, the working poor. And at the same time, that refusal to recognize the give back mentality when it comes to fucking corporations makes me puke. You know, in New York, they already have a law on the books that requires financial companies to report on the sales of stock transfers, okay, and imposes a tax on them, which is instantly rebated back. Now, I believe the number for last year was something like $11 billion in tax that would have been generated as a result of this stock transfer tax, which was immediately rebated back. That would completely eliminate the budget shortfall in New York. And yet, the people in New York, the governor, and all of the other political assholes up there will not budge on this issue, claiming erroneously that this will force business into other cities or states. When all you have to do is look at the London Stock Exchange to see that this is fucking baloney. They have a transfer tax in the London Stock Exchange. It has not diminished stock activity in London, has it? You know, the London Stock Exchange has continued to grow just like every other one. So this is clearly bullshit. So, anytime I hear any fucking asshole politician like the governor of fucking New York and the governor of fucking Pennsylvania or any municipal government official talking about the need to give back, I want these motherfuckers to talk about some giving back by fucking corporations. Let's have a look at tax breaks for corporations. Tax, quote-unquote, incentives for corporations. Like General Electric, who not only pays no taxes on $5 billion in fucking profits, but also gets back a rebate of $2 to $3 fucking billion for incentives, resulting in a net increase for them of like $7 to $8 billion. Where's the fucking give back? The sacrifice from the fucking corporate side? I don't fucking see it. So, anybody who wants to talk about givebacks and fucking sacrifice, I'm more than willing to compromise. As soon as the fucking fat cat motherfuckers in corporate America and Wall Street are willing to give back and fucking sacrifice their hundreds of billions of dollars in fucking profit at the expense of Main Street America, then I will consider givebacks. Just like you and all the other working class people in this country and middle America. I say we sit back and say, no, shove your fucking cuts up your fucking asses until the multi-billionaires and these giant fucking corporations start feeling some of the fucking pain, because none of them are. And it doesn't look like they ever will. Here in Pittsburgh, we have an imminent shutdown of the Port Authority system. So no more buses. They want to privatize it and destroy the entire bus program in Allegheny County. Well, let's have a look instead in Allegheny County what kind of tax breaks, tax incentives, and tax deferrals are given to corporations. Where's the pain for fucking business? I don't see it. I don't even hear anybody fucking talking about it. In New York, the same thing. Layoffs, shutdowns, and cuts. And they won't even consider taxing bonuses on corporate bigwigs. They will not even consider a reimposition of this tax that is automatically rebated for stock transfers in New York. What about Wisconsin? I'm sure if you look there, and Ohio, I'm sure if you look there, I'm absolutely dead certain that if you look there, there is not only no sacrifice by corporations, there is instead a continuation of tax breaks, tax incentives, and tax loopholes for corporations, which not only does not cause them to share the burden, but increases the burden on the middle class and regular taxpayers. That's us. That's all of us, people. We're the ones paying the brunt of it. Not only do we have to share the pain, but we have to continue to be inflicted with pain by a continuation of policy of tax avoidance in all of its various forms by corporations. Now I look at the field of contenders for 2012, the presidency, and all I see is a bunch of fucking losers who are going to continue this failed policy of the destruction and destabilization of America in the name of quote-unquote free market and quote-unquote free trade and all of the other bullshit that has led to the complete decimation of jobs in this country. And I hear a lot of people talking about Donald Trump. Oh, the so-called new birther himself, who quite rightly points out that Obama should show his real, actual birth certificate, who has recently brought out his quote-unquote birth certificate, which is not a birth certificate at all. So, what is this? Just a publicity stunt? You know, I think the whole birther thing is kind of beside the point. That's why I don't talk about it very much. The fact of the matter is, you have to look at things from the perspective of where we are. Obama is president, okay? If you don't like it, start attacking his fucking policies and start getting to the root of getting him out of there. And yes, I understand there are court cases that are trying to do that from one perspective, and that's fine. Let them continue. But in the meantime, why do progressives and liberals continue to support a president who has totally and completely sold you out? Completely! He sold you out to Wall Street, he sold you out to corporations, and now he has sold you out on the idea of intervention in other countries with his own war in Libya. Do you think Donald Trump, Michelle Bachmann, or any of these other assholes that are running for president in 2012 are going to do anything to benefit working class America? Give me a fucking break. Is there any progressive or liberal out there who's willing to step forward and say, we need actual action for working class America? And if you want to talk about sharing the pain, let's really share the fucking pain and tell corporations they have to start paying their fucking taxes instead of getting their tax breaks. Let's tell Goldman Sachs that 1% tax on your profits is not fucking acceptable. And that the continuation of all of the various tax avoidance schemes by corporations is not sharing the fucking pain. It's simple. And yet, the politicians continue this failed fucking policy, which amounts to a complete assault, war on the middle class. Let's call it what it is. It makes me sick. Thank you. Good day.